Maluleke, how are you?
Excellent, thank you, Tabane. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the CMO Corner, short edition. So we tend to do these much longer.
Okay.
But obviously we're here at the Effies and we don't have time. So we thought let's grab you and let's have a chat with you.
With pleasure.
So your first title is co-jury chair here at the Effies. That's the first one. And the second one, I hope I'm going to get it right, is executive marketing or marketing executive at Discovery Health.
Almost.
Oh,
Executive head of marketing for Discovery Health.
Okay, I'll take it.
And I must be clear, I feel like my boss would feel differently about the jury co-chair being my first title.
Okay, so that's the second one. Okay, that's the second one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So thank you. What does your role entail as a co-jury chair?
Yeah. That's an excellent question. And really what Ahmed, who's my other co-jury chair, and I do, our role is to uphold what the Effies are about. To ensure that this wide range of judges and cases and numerous discussions and debates that I had over the course of months, that we stay true to what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Which is really about celebrating work that is not only strategically sound and creatively beautiful and disruptive, but ultimately delivers results that organizations are trying to drive. And that's an awesome responsibility to have, right? To make sure that we don't get distracted by, fun, interesting, creative, or a really powerful insight, or a really compelling problem. But that we are focused on work that is the embodiment of all of that together, as well as delivering organizational results.
So what have you seen from the work that was submitted here for 2024? Like, are there great things? Is there things we need to improve on? Because I'm looking at you like the coach.
Oh my goodness. I love that for me. Thank you. There's been a lot of amazing things. I think we've had a great, batch of entries this year. What I always love is when I see it across categories. In some years you'll see it's either, financial services has a great year, or FMCG has a great year, or beverages, or whatever it may be, fast food. And I love it when we start to see that all over the industries, because it means that creativity is being celebrated, across industries. So I think there's been a lot of great work, and I think what's been coming out for me is the same thing that has been true since marketing first became a profession, which is that be clear on your problem. Be clear on your audience and the insight and what is going to connect with them. Right? Make sure your strategy is sound, and then be brave in your creativity. I think that for me is probably one of the biggest things that's come out of this year. If I look at the winners of the Gold Effie specifically and the Grand Effie, is real bravery in their creativity, right? If we think about Pineapple, if we think about Capital Legacy, if we think about Castle Lager Bread of the Nation, if we think about the Carling Black Label Pumpkin, there's a real boldness that is in all of those executions, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, true, lovely. So, and let's park the Effies for a bit. Now, in your role, obviously focusing in the healthcare space, what are you seeing? What are you seeing as a gap that marketers can actually just penetrate and win? Because you deal with people's health.
You do.
Such a delicate thing. And can you create work that's amazing from that perspective?
Yeah. First, I think we can.
Okay.
I really think we can. And it's part of the reason I wanted to actually join Discovery Health. I think there's probably two things. One, I think, for many South Africans, especially Black South Africans, many of us are the first in our family, right? It's the first to own a house, own a car, go to university, pick it. We are the first. And so there's always this sense of anxiety that we'll lose those gains, right? That something will, pull us back to what we were before. And as much as we think about many things that could impact us, one of the things I've seen that we don't often think about enough is health. Because more than anything, it can be the thing that changes the trajectory of your whole life, no matter how well you've achieved, no matter how hard you've worked. And so for me, what's really powerful and compelling is the opportunity that brands like Discovery, and specifically the healthcare solutions that we offer, have to play. And not just kind of, let's keep people healthy, which is great, but in fundamentally moving the country forward, right? Allowing us to preserve these gains that we've made, these hard-fought gains, and make sure that our communities and societies move forward. So for me, that's the exciting part of the opportunity that we have in healthcare. From a specific marketing perspective, I think there's a real opportunity for brands in the healthcare space to remember that people are whole people. I'm not just, whatever, when I have cancer or when I have diabetes or, we don't just think about the negative stuff. Really think about people as whole people. And how do you talk to them as whole people? How do we leverage the power that other categories do in identifying interesting and fun insights? Because being healthy can be fun. That's the point, right? You can have more fun when you're healthy. And I think that there's a real opportunity to, I guess, just create more disruptive work that is engaging and fun and connects. And does the important work of growing the category, not just to make money, but to make sure that every South African has an opportunity to continue to grow themselves and their families and their lives and economies.
In closing, you're going to give us a nice speech about where marketers are and the role of marketing and how that conversation is currently. If you had to share a message to marketers that are watching the CMO, because only marketers that watch the show, what would you say? Whatever it is, I'm giving you the green light to say that. Say it. What would you say?
Oh my goodness, so many things. Probably the most important one is, I would echo what Ahmed said earlier. Don't be boring. Be brave, be offensive, be, I don't know, whatever. Be anything but boring. Because boring is the kiss of death. It really is. And I think that's a big one for me. And can I say a second one?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Please be commercially astute.
Love it.
I just, often when I see, I was a consultant for 7 years before I joined Discovery, and when I see organizations where they don't respect marketing, it really is just because the marketers in that organization are not commercially astute. They don't understand how the business makes money and how what they do has to support the business in that endeavor.
True.
So if it's two things for me, it would really just be commercially astute. Understand your organization, whatever it may be. Even if you're an NPO, understand your organization and what those levers are. And then, of course, just don't be boring. Please, also as a consumer in the space, don't be boring.
Before we close, what you're saying about knowing your numbers and commercials and how you make money here, it reminded me of a conversation we had with one of the guests. One of the guests I've had here on the podcast, possibly the first season, if I'm not mistaken, not the second, was Mzamo Masito.
Oh, yes.
And he says, at an executive level for marketers, it's the top three that's most important. He says cash flow, he says balance sheet, he says it's P&L. He says if you can't have that conversation as a marketer at that level, you're going nowhere. So your point basically resonates with that because it's a consistent message of all the guests that I've actually had here. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being the core jury chair. and we appreciate being here. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. It's absolutely.